The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam was built without US money. So why is the US president still claiming ownership of it? Welcome to World Tide News, where we navigate the powerful currents shaping our world. Today we're confronting a dangerous falsehood and the geopolitical pressure it enables against Ethiopia. Because this isn't about facts, it's about pressure. Let's start with a simple, objective, verifiable fact. One that no amount of political pressure can erase.
This is the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, or GERD, a structure so massive it's reshaping the landscape of northeastern Africa. Built on the Blue Nile in Ethiopia, this is Africa's largest hydroelectric dam. It promises to power millions of homes, drive economic growth, and transform Ethiopia into an energy hub.
Ethiopia built the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam with Ethiopian money. Not a dollar from the World Bank, not a cent from the International Monetary Fund, not a single contribution from the United States or from any other nation. This is not opinion, this is documented fact. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam was financed by Ethiopians through bonds, sacrifices, and national resolve. It has now been completed, it has been officially inaugurated. And it is generating electricity for a nation that has waited generations for development. And yet, here we are. On multiple occasions, most recently just days ago in Davos, Donald Trump once again falsely claimed that the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam was financed by the United States.
Very much. They're talking about the dam that's been built in Ethiopia. It's one of the largest dams in the world, the largest dam in Africa, but it's one of the largest dams anywhere in the world. It was financed by the United States, and it basically blocks the Nile River. You know, when I think of Egypt, I think about the Nile more than any other place, in all fairness, but it goes through Ethiopia, and a dam was built, a very big one, very, very big one, massive. And it was something that should have been talked about a long time ago.
That claim is false. It has always been false. And repeating it does not make it true. What is striking, however, is this. So far, the Ethiopian government has not issued an official public statement directly challenging this falsehood. Why? Many observers speculate that Addis Ababa is being cautious, reluctant to provoke the anger of a US president known for using economic pressure as a political weapon. There is real concern that speaking out could invite retaliation, restricted access to international loans, pressure on trading partners, or behind-the-scenes efforts to isolate Ethiopia economically. Whether this caution is justified or not, one thing is clear: sooner or later, Ethiopia has no choice but to stand up for itself. It cannot, and it should not, allow repeated falsehoods to go unchallenged. It cannot relinquish its sovereignty out of fear, and it should not allow others to rewrite the story of a dam built by its own people. Let's be very clear, Ethiopia is right to say no. In fact, Ethiopia should say no. No to misinformation. No to coercion disguised as mediation. No to external pressure that undermines African-led agreements. There already exists an agreed-upon framework among the Nile Basin countries, a framework that includes Egypt itself. That framework recognizes cooperation, sovereignty, and equitable use of shared waters. Yet Egypt continues to bypass African processes and pull Washington into the dispute, not as a neutral mediator, but as a power broker. Ask yourself this. Why would Egypt want the United States, a non-riparian country with no legal stake in the Nile, to insert itself into this discussion unless the goal is pressure, not fairness? There is nothing impartial about a superpower echoing one side's false narrative. This is not about water security, it is about leverage. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is not a weapon. It does not consume water. It does not block the Nile. It does not violate international law. What truly threatens stability is the idea that development in Africa must first be approved elsewhere. And let us not forget, Ethiopia is not a nation without history. It is a country that defeated colonial powers when others were carved up. A country that defended its sovereignty when sovereignty was denied to most of the continent. A country whose very existence is proof that independence is not granted. It is asserted. That history matters today. If the United States wishes to play a constructive role, it should start with facts, not falsehoods, with respect, not pressure, and with acknowledgement of African sovereignty, not quiet intimidation. Because this debate is no longer just about a dam. It is about whether truth can stand against power, whether sovereignty can stand against pressure, and whether Africa is allowed to develop on its own terms. That is the question now before the world. This is World Tide News, where we follow the evidence, not the alliances. If you value staying informed about the forces shaping our world, please like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next report. Thank you for watching.